I am getting fatigued and exhausted and don't know how much longer I can hope and trust and wait. I'm tired. There's nothing more that I want to be than a wife and a mom. There's nothing more.
Hey guys, so I wanted to film an updated how I'm feeling about singleness vlog. You guys were so kind on part 1. If you haven't watched it, I'll link it up above. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the comments, all of the prayers. Like, I really felt like, wow, we have a great community because they have rallied around me so strong. And in turn, I know so many people commented that they were feeling very similarly. And I definitely said prayers for each and every one of you that commented. So again, thank you so much. But today is going to be a lighter vlog because I am feeling so much better about it. I think that it's important when you are building a community to make sure that you show the lows and the highs. And I was just in a space for so long where I was feeling so depleted and so discouraged that I felt like there were probably a lot of people that could relate to that. But today, I just kind of wanted to update you guys where I am, what I'm feeling, and hopefully encourage some of you guys. So if you can't tell, I'm feeling so much better about it. There were a couple of different things that happened that I'll kind of share with you that were super encouraging. So I'd gone to church one Sunday and my pastor was basically preaching about faith, and he was basically saying, like, this is for the person who has believed God for so long and they just don't feel like they have any belief left, like they can't hope again. He's like, hope again. And he taught this whole sermon on hoping again, and it was this whole thing where I was like, God, I think I do. Like, I think I have one left in me where I can believe you that you're going to do a miracle in this area of my life. And that day when I got home, I got a text from one of my really good friends, and basically she and her husband have been trying to have a baby for years upon years upon years, so many failed IVFs. And she sent me a picture of her ultrasound and said that she is expecting a baby. And I was just like, wow, the kindness of God to remind me that there's hope and that he is going to do a miracle on that same day when I decide I'm going to trust and believe again it was just so kind of God. That really stirred my faith. I'm sure there's so many of you guys who are like, I have been believing for so long, but can I encourage you, like, faith moves heaven. And I'm not saying that just because you have faith, God's going to do it. I think that there's so much space and so much grace from God that, like, if you get to a point where you've prayed all that you can pray, like, you're going to have to trust that those prayers are good. But, like, there's so much joy in waiting with expectation and joy in waiting and knowing that God's going to do it rather than waiting in doubt. Like, there's so much depression there. There's no freedom there. There's so much freedom on this side. So if you can muster any ounce of faith, like, please join me and muster up some faith, and let's, like, just believe God that he's going to be a man of his word. And he is. Okay, now here's the second part of that. Yes, I believe that we're supposed to wait with faith. And, like, I hope that you're going to join me in this journey. But the second part of this is that we're supposed to wait with expectation. And that's where it gets a little tricky. I went to church a couple weeks ago, and, like, my pastor, if you don't have a good church, like, you need to go to church, because that's the thing. Like, you can't do this on your own. Like, you have to do this with a community. And so I'll link his message below. It's so good. Like, you should listen to it. It's so encouraging. But I'll just give you a few snippets of, like, what he said. He was like, so many times people let time erode their expectations, and he's like, you know, you go from believing God for 6 foot, of course he's being, like, silly, you know, but, like, 6 foot man who, like, believes in God, has a passion for ministry, wants to have kids, is gonna be a good dad, will love you, loves long walks on the beach. And then you go to, Lord, give me a man, any man, don't care, like, seriously, just do what you said you're gonna do. And he's like, there has to be a level of expectation in faith. Another thing that he said is, don't despise the season of what you can't see, because you're despising the season of God working behind the scenes. Like, God's not working. He's working on your behalf, and, like, you may not be able to see it, but there's so much happening behind the scenes, and, like, that's why it's important to keep faith, and that's why it's important to keep your expectations up. I'm just gonna link the whole message. Like, I seriously, if you need some encouragement, I'm gonna link the message. You should watch it. He prays at the end. It's a powerful, powerful sermon. Gonna link it. So I guess the question now is, like, what am I doing in this waiting period? Well, what I'm doing looks very different. Please know, I don't think that you should do everything I'm doing. But one of the things that I did was I deleted all of my dating apps. From the beginning, I felt like the Lord told me I was not going to meet my husband on dating apps. I have so many friends who did, and their spouses are amazing. So this is very individual for me. And so there were a few times that I get on dating apps and I'm like, I'm completely disregarding what the Lord said and would feel so much conviction that I would delete it. And this last time that I tried, I felt like it was the Lord giving me a go ahead of like, if you need this to prove whatever you think in your head, go ahead. And I didn't feel any conviction about it, but I have been on the dating apps for a year. I've gone on several dates from them, and like, I'm sorry, the guys are losers. Like, there's no one of the caliber of guy that I'm looking for on the dating apps that I have encountered thus far. And so I felt really comfortable deleting them and being like, God, I should have just gone with what you said in the first place. And what you said in the first place was that whatever. I think sometimes it's hard because you think that you're not doing enough. And I think culture says like, you're not doing enough if you're not going on dates consistently and like all of this stuff and like putting yourself out there. But I do believe that there are some things that only God's going to do. And like, that's what I believe for my specific situation. So dating apps, gone. Another thing that I did was that I, went back through my list. I haven't read through my list in probably 2 years of what I'm believing God for in a spouse. And so I read through that just to get my expectations up. I'm like, I wrote this in a clear mind where I had been very prayerful about what I was believing God for. And so I'm going to trust that this is one, inspired by God, that he gave me this desire and I just wrote it out. And so, yeah, I've deleted the dating apps. I'm reading through consistently what I'm believing for in a spouse so that I'll be able to recognize him when he comes. So that is the update. I hope it encourages you guys. Leave comments. I always respond. Leave comments. I'll pray for you. Like, we're in this together. So yeah, thanks for watching.